Now that we are in the new year, I just wanted to kick off this video with a little bit of motivation and to tell you that everything in reality, everything in your reality is scripted. Reality is whatever you make it. You have to have controlled delusion and believe and stay in the feeling of what you want to create before it's created. Just like, I think they're called the Wright brothers, right? Was it the Wright brothers that made the first airplane or whatever? There's mofos telling them that we could never fly. Human beings will never be able to fly. This, that. Like, there are so many naysayers, so many doubters, so many things that you need this. Let this be the video where you let that go. Let that go. Let that go. Let this be the new energy. And trust and believe that everything that you're going for is already yours if you just persist in the feeling. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video. Sending out a lot of love. I love you guys. I really truly do. Shout out to my patrons, and you guys already know what to do if you enjoy the video. Share it with someone who needs to hear this year. It's time to let it go. All the events in your life are already scripted depending on the frequency you're on. And I'm a seer. I've done this for multiple people. I pay attention to your patterns and your behavioral patterns and the things that you affirm to yourself. I can guess what's going to happen to you 2 years down the road. It's super simple. Because all that exists is the now. You have to take control of the now. Past, the future, they don't exist. They don't exist. You can go back in time to your past and rewrite it and get into a delusion where you believe that you were rich and you could change your life now. That you just had all the good ideas as a kid. You were just kid genius, all this. You could rewrite everything that's happened in your past, and they've proven this. They've proven this. And you don't even need scientific studies to show it. That's just for people who are more logical. Others understand it so simply, like they're just like, they hear it and they get it, that this is all a game, and this is all from the mind. The mind is all. The universe is the mind. The one, verse, song, verse. This is your verse. It's all one song. And it's up to you whether you're singing a good tune or a bad tune. Because that's the duality that exists here. So exist in the middle, stay in that middle point, the balance, yin and yang. We'll always be shooting to experience the abundance in your life that you are so willing to just have. So you're so willing to chase. No, it's already yours. You don't even gotta chase this shit. It's already yours. I love it. I love it. Man. Y'all gotta understand, this whole thing is scripted, man. What was it? The Book of Life, Mac Tub, whatever the saying is. It was written. It's written, and I got this Elmer clip that I'm gonna play at the end for y'all, and it just shows you that that art imitates reality, reality imitates art. You know why? Because everything is art and everything is reality. But the thing is, you know what I love? You know what I love? People want to know how to manifest better or do manifestation or how to create, right? You have to stop seeing with these eyes. Ralph. This is a shout out to Ralph. This is a shout out to Soul Illuminati. Because they said this, and this is the first time that I really started thinking about your eyes different. These two eyes lie on the front of your face. Your eyes lie on the front of your visage. Do you get that? What you're seeing with these two eyes is not the true you. The true you exists within here. Cause and effect. Subconscious to conscious. You got to change the subconscious beliefs and consciously protect it with your conscious mind. And you got to feel deep in here that you are a different person. You're the person that you want to be. You're not even really different. You're the same. You're just tuned in a bit different. You're tuned into someone that already exists in the parallel universe, which is you. And there's an infinite number of realities of you. And you experience that here. You exist and are conscious of that here. You exist across a multitude. You're constantly switching between. It's like if I put on a red shirt or a blue shirt. I decided to put on this shirt instead of red or a blue. But then there's a version of me that put on a red or a blue shirt and is going throughout his day right now. Even if I was to take this shirt off in this video, that is a new timeline I just created. But that's the thing, it's already written. It all exists now. It exists now. And my point of that is take control of your shit now. Take it. Like, I've been given this gift of gab to be able to talk and articulate this shit to y'all, and I'm doing it, man. I'm using it as much as I can. I want to be annoying as hell, but you have to understand that your life is truly in your hands, and it's not in the hands of your family members, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, your roommates. It's not in their hands, and controlled delusion is the best way to get through anything you're going through. In the book, The Holographic Universe, which is under my lovely journal right there, it literally talks about a Holocaust survivor who he did not believe he was gonna die, and he was one of the survivors. And I bring this up because it's like he had this burning passion, this warmth in his heart that he was already free and that he was not there. He wasn't being tortured. He didn't feel like the soldiers, and we know who, were torturing him. He felt free in his mind, and he felt like he would outlast. And yeah, to some degree, right? It is no the act. I'm not even gonna say some degree to try to sugarcoat it. That thought is selfish within itself, but that's what you have to do when it comes to your own energy. All he saw was from his peers was lost hope, lost faith. He didn't want to deal with that. What? When you're surrounded by that, you gotta become either the outlier, the one that just grows, that fucking sprouts from the darkness, or you're gonna suffer like everyone else around you. You don't have to be in that mindset. And that is something I've realized so much coming of the age of 22, is that you do not have to join in someone's it's like that saying, misery loves company. Of course it fucking does. But you know what doesn't like company? Positive affirmations, good vibrations, all that shit. That shit does not, motherfucker. No. When somebody's miserable and you genuinely feel that, a lot of the time you don't want to be around a miserable motherfucker. Not at all. Not at all. But other miserable motherfuckers would like to be, yeah, let's all just suffer together. Fuck that. This year has to be the year of you getting out of that shit. Believe me. And it starts from within. And this book is fucking insane, I'm telling you. Because it's already you exists wherever you want to be. It exists now. There's a me right now that's talking to y'all that has 1 million subscribers. But due to the choices that I made in this timeline, I'm not there. I'm perceiving a different reality because of actions I took. But I could easily switch with anything. I could be a firefighter. It depends. And I also feel like certain people, to your soul, connected to your soul, you have different things that you fall into naturally that are supposed to be where you go, where you lead down. So I would have to break down what it naturally be for me to be a firefighter. Probably not. But there is a reality of that exists. See what I'm saying? It's one of those. I'm telling you, watch the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was showing you that. Beautiful movie. Literally one of the best, honestly, in my opinion, the best movie of last year. It literally explained to you what is going on and how they had to switch into the different reality then. A little spoiler, but watch the movie, but a little spoiler. They had to change their concept of themselves in the moment. So when he would like take the gum from under the desk and eat it and chew it while going like, blah, 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 and he would switch and become a kung fu fighter. It went and showed how it went back into all their memories and why that specific event led up to them being a kung fu fighter. And it's just like it was showing you that your self-concept in the moment will completely change your genetics, your DNA, everything. So in real life accounts a placebo effect. It's all written, ladies and gentlemen. It's here right now. You embody this shit now, and you will have it. Just feel like you have it now. Controlled delusion. Who are you harming? It's like I always say this. It's better than being in a negative mindset. It's better than being down. I'd rather be have controlled delusion or just be on full on delusional about what I have and want and feel that in my heart, rather than to just look at everything going on around me and be pissed. Here's something that happened recently, but the water's back on. Is the water went off. None of us in the house stressed it. Like, it was like an absurd water bill. Then I'm sure that the people who just can come and shut off. First of all, I think it's wrong anyways that a human, like that there's a organization, the government, the state, the law, that they can come and shut off somebody's water, and you need water. How did we get here as humans? Can we start fucking up this version of the Matrix? Start taking its power back, or do something before we die? Come on now. Financial freedom can't be the only way, because like I talked about it with Max. Free energy is a thing that existed. It was trade, bro. Trade. Like, I do this for you, you may feed me. I do this for you, we may build a house together. Or you do this for me, I might, craft you some shoes. Free energy, bro. Now it's just like so much value on money. Money has literally no value, but it's crazy. And the water bill was absurd. It's like $700. Well, we're taking care of it. It's easy. But a $700 water bill? Like, you have to be the person behind the phone saying that, like, realizing, like, that is absurd. There's no way to... And my one roommate was saying, yeah, on a fucking normal, the water bill is like $150. Well, we got a leak somewhere, but we're taken care of. Nobody was stressing it. We had a good ass time. It was so funny because it's like, when it ended up working itself out, we're all here just smiling still. It's just natural. Of course we gotta handle that shit. It's just funny. And it's funny because my they're my bros. If I say roommate, just it's easier. But my brothers, my one said, yeah, we're gonna have the water on right before the weekend of the new year. He said, watch, we're gonna have it on. It ain't gonna matter. We had it on before the new year. I could not believe it. He said on before the weekend. But it was written. Everything that's gonna happen in your reality is gonna happen depending on where the frequency you're on. It doesn't benefit me just telling him, no, it's not. No, we're not. No, we're not. If you're not really that much of a believer, just say, we'll see. Or be like, yeah, heck yeah, I believe you. Fuck it. We going. Why not? We're going to have it on. When there's like no evidence of like how it would happen, everything just conspires to have it happen. But I'm going to play this clip. I'm going to get out of here. Get out of y'all hair. Enjoy the clip. This is a bit of a long video. So, yeah, just, you got to stay up. The reality of you and what you're experiencing already exists. You just have to feel it here. Love y'all. Peace out.
To share with you a very captivating testimonial that actually proves that imagining creates reality, that we're actually imagining things and creating things before they actually happen in everything in your world. And this story is about the Titanic. The way the Titanic sunk and everything that happened with the Titanic, the size of the ship, the name of the ship, and everything that happened and why it actually sunk and everything that created that event to happen was actually written in a book 14 years before the Titanic even sunk. So this was a story that was written, and I'm going to share with you that testimonial today, and this is very interesting. I know it's going to blow your mind. I absolutely love this because this proves that imagination creates reality. Okay, so in 1898, a struggling author named Morgan Robertson concocted a novel about a fabulous Atlantic liner far larger than any that had ever built. Okay, so this was Robertson, and he loaded his ship with rich and complacent people and then wrecked it one cold night on an iceberg. So this is a story, this is a book that was written, okay, 14 years before the Titanic sunk, and it exactly pans out the same way that the Titanic sunk, okay? So, and this somehow showed the futility of everything, and in fact, the book was called Futility when it appeared that year, published by the firm M.F. Mansfield. 14 years later, a British shipping company named the White Star Line built a steamer remarkably like the one in Robertson's novel. The new liner was 66,000 tons displacement, and Robertson's in his novel was 70,000. See the similarities here, how close this is. There is no coincidence here that this was created from his imaginal act, and the real ship, which was the Titanic, was 882.5 feet long. The fictional one in the book was 800 feet. Both could carry about 3,000 people, and both had enough lifeboats for only a fraction of this number. But then this didn't seem to matter because both were labeled unsinkable or unshakable, like the Titanic was labeled unshakable or unsinkable. It could not be sunk. And that was it. And that was the same way it was written in this book 14 years before the Titanic even sunk. So on April 19th, 1912, the real ship left the Southampton on her maiden voyage to New York. Her cargo included a priceless copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, and a list of passengers collectively worth $250 million. On her way over, she too struck an iceberg and went down on a cold April night. Robertson called his ship, in his book, written 14 years before this happened, Robertson named his ship the Titan. The White Star Line called its ship the Titanic. See the similarities here. In the book, it was called the Titan. In real life, it was called the Titanic. There's no coincidence here. So imagination creates reality. Had Morgan Robertson known that imagining creates reality, that today's fiction is tomorrow's fact, would he have written the novel Futility? And in the moment of tragic catastrophe, the conviction becomes more distinct to us than ever that life is a bad dream from which we have to awake. And the bad dream is caused by the imaginal activity of sleeping humanity. The bad dream is caused by imaginal activity of sleeping humanity. Imaginal activities may be remote from their manifestations, and unobserved events are only appearance. Causation, as seen in this tragedy, is elsewhere in space and time. Far off from the scene of action, invisible to all, was Robertson's imaginal activity, like a scientist in a control room directing his guided missile through space. All right, guys, I also want to cover Neville Goddard's words here from the beginning. This is chapter 4. There is no fiction, from the Law and Promise. Okay, so there is no fiction. If any imaginal activity can produce a physical effect, our physical world must be essentially imaginal. To prove this would require merely that we observe our imaginal activities and watch to see whether or not they produce corresponding external effects. If they do, then we must conclude that there is no fiction. Today's imaginal drama, which is fiction, becomes tomorrow's fact. If we have this wider view of causation, that causation is mental and not physical, that our mental states are causative of physical effects, then we would realize our responsibility as a creator and imagine only the best imaginable. So be very careful what you're imagining and everything you're thinking, everything you're producing, everything you're directing, your internal dialogues. What are you imagining all day long? And be aware of this, because this is what is creating your world. So be careful of what you're imagining. Always imagine the best and think what is lovely and of good rapport. And most men and women believe that reality resides in the solid objects he sees around him, as in the 3D world. People think this is the real solid world, that is in this world that the drama of life originates, but that's not true. They think that events spring suddenly into existence, created moment by moment out of physical facts. But causation does not lie in the external world of facts. The drama of life originates in the imagination of man. The real act of becoming takes place within man's imagination and not without. Everything stems from the internal world. Everything's created from within you, being projected outwardly. The external world is created from inside of us. So remember to be constantly aware of what you're imagining all day long, and make sure that it's something that you want to create for your future or create for somebody else. All right, guys, I love you guys very much. And I really wanted to share this because this is so impactful, that imagination creates reality, and that this book was actually written 14 years before the Titanic sunk, and it was written the exact same way. A huge ship hitting an iceberg and then sinking with not enough lifeboats, and how it was tagged as unsinkable, just like the Titanic was. And even the name of the ship in the book that was written 14 years ago was the Titan, and the real ship was the Titanic. There's no coincidences here. This is absolutely created from this imaginal act that this author concocted 14 years before it happened. All right, guys, I love you guys very much. Don't forget to give me one thing you guys are grateful for, or leave any comments, any ideas for future content. And I'm going to post that card for you for my sleep meditations on the screen for you. You can click on that and find the perfect sleep meditation for you to manifest anything you want to come into your life as you're falling asleep. Imagination creates reality, and what you fall asleep with is what you're going to get in the future. So fall asleep with those sleep meditations. They will absolutely create your future exactly how you want it to be. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.